Hi everybody. So I'm doing this video because I just watched a documentary called Fed Up 2014, and it's basically about how government governments and media have been working against people through constant advertising for food that causes all kinds of health problems. And it really affected me because when I was first diagnosed with kidney failure, it was 320 pounds. I've been a sugar addict for as long as I can remember, and I've struggled with my weight for as long as I can remember. And for a long time, I blamed it on genetics because obesity runs on both sides of my family. I have relatives on both sides of my family that have struggled with weight. And so I just basically told myself that I came by honestly and that there was nothing I could do about it. And I rationalized that I was just doing the best that I can because we live in a society where instant gratification is the key. And that's why everybody struggles with an addiction of some kind. It's an instant gratification kind. So even though I don't struggle with, street drugs or alcohol, sugar is my drug, and I am addicted to sugar. And because sugar is found in everything, how do you get away from that kind of an addiction? This is just an example. This is a snack that I have regularly, which is supposed to be a better for you alternative to chips, especially on a renal diet, because chips are potatoes and potatoes equal potassium and potassium is bad. Well, lots of potassium is bad. So one of the problems with renal failure is that your kidneys can't flush the buildup of potassium out of your blood. So the hemodialysis does it for me, or if I eat too much potassium, I take a medication called resonium calcium. Well, how did I get renal failure? Nobody else in my family has kidney disease. My grandma had diabetes and ultimately passed from complications from her diabetes and kidney failure, but she wasn't born with diabetes. Nobody else in my family, well, that's not true, not nobody else in my family has diabetes, but it is not the number one medical issue in my family. Obesity, I would say, is the number one medical issue in my family. But I'm the only one with kidney failure. And so I was told that it was not genetic, it was not hereditary, it was not environmental, it was just bad luck. But then I watched this video, this documentary about sugar, and how in the past 30 years, the health industry has seen an increase in 30-year-olds needing dialysis because of obesity due to sugar. So you can't tell me that my being 320 pounds didn't in some way contribute to my own illness. And so I know that it's my own fault that I'm right where I am right now. And sure, I'm not 320 pounds anymore, but it's not because they did anything to actively change my life. It was forced on me. I was so sick that everything I ate, I threw up. Everything I drank, I threw up. So I went from being an emotional eater addicted to sugar to hating food because it made me vomit constantly. And I was sick of being sick, so I stopped eating. So I basically starved myself. out of 125 pounds. Well, that's not healthy either, is it? So nothing has changed in the way that I actually see food, except for that. It's still the enemy. Because I don't use it the way that it's supposed to be used. Food is supposed to fuel your body so that you can do things, accomplish things, to have a good life. You're not supposed to live to eat. You're supposed to eat to live. And not in the way that we do it now. We live in the society of instant gratification where we all want what we want and we want it now. And in case you didn't take psychology in any fashion, that's the id complex. That's your ego. So when we want instant gratification, what are we doing? We're feeding our ego. Why? Why are we so hungry to feed our ego? What are we missing? I really don't know what it is that I'm missing in my life that I can't seem to fix this problem on my own. Because I have to watch a documentary about sugar and be really sick to know it's my own fault. But then also to realize that I'm not entirely. The part of this blame relies squarely on the government and the media. And I know that this documentary that I watched is mainly aimed at Americans. But I'm sure that as a Canadian, and especially since the majority of the things that I see on TV and being advertised are American based, that it still affects me. And especially because the majority of the products that we consume come from the States or products that are made in the States or somehow influenced by American industry. That's what happens when you have free trade. Right? Anyway, so sugar. Like I was saying, this is supposed to be a healthier alternative for me as a renal patient because potatoes bad, rice better. However, this has maltodextrin in it and lactose something, and basically that's hidden the word for sugar. Okay, and even though it says in here that the sugars are 0 grams in carbohydrates, the sugar is still hidden in here because it has maltodextrose, which is the sugar derivative. So, anytime that you consume food that does not have fiber in it, it goes directly to your liver, and your liver produces that directly into fat. So, and I just learned that. I didn't know that before. I just learned that. Sorry. But when you eat food that has fiber in it, it takes your body longer to process it and digest it. So your body doesn't automatically just turn it to fat. It has to go through your whole digestive system, and then it gets properly moved the parts of your body that need it. When your body ingests things that are just sugar, they get turned immediately into fat. And so even when you eat, and here's the biggest kick in the pants that I've known for a long time, and I've tried to tell other people about, but a lot of people don't want to believe me. They think that if they eat low-fat diet items, that it's better for you, but it's not, because what happens when you take the fat out of food is it tastes gross. So what the industry has to do is, because they still have to sell their products, they replace fat with sugar. But sugar just gets automatically turned into fat in your body. And there's a difference between good fat and bad fat. And if you don't eat good fat, you can't lose weight. You need fat to lose fat. I know that really sounds strange, but it's something that I've known for a long time, that you need fat, good fat, to lose fat. And I'm not talking about, oh, well, we're just going to stick a deep fried butter because that's fat, so that'll help us lose fat. No, that's ridiculous. And people that think that drinking soda, even if it's diet, is good for you, it's still pure sugar. Even if it's diet sugar, like aspartame or sucralose or whatever, it still is a sweetener and causes the same effect in your body. So the documentary is talking about how certain foods, even in your mouth, taste different, but in your digestive system responds the same way, regardless of what they are. Now you need to watch this video. Do you struggle with your health in any way? Do you struggle with your weight? Oh, my phone is ringing. I'll have to call them back. Do you struggle with any kind of health issue, really? There's all types of things that are directly related to the incredible increase in sugar consumption in our lifestyle. And you really can't get away from it. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go. The only way you can get away from it is to live and eat clean. And that means if you want to get away from temptation, you can't shop at big box stores anymore. You have to go to the farmer's market. Why? Because the farmer's market sells things that are from the garden, from the farm to table. You know, you have to cut out prepackaged instant things. And I know we live in a world where we're all really busy and we don't have time, and it's better to eat something than nothing. But you still need to be mindful of what you're putting in your body, because these particular foods are poison. In the same way that a drug addict craves heroin or cocaine or whatever they're addicted to, and an alcoholic craves alcohol, I crave sugar. And I told myself for so long that it's okay if I just limit my sugar intake. You know, I only let myself have processed sugar some of the time, like here or there. I'll be okay. But is it okay for a drug addict to have just one hit? No. Can an alcoholic have just one beer? No. So what do I have to do? I have to stop eating all this kind of stuff. I have to radically change my life. And I had an awakening a couple of days ago that precipitated this further awakening, when I went to the grocery store and they had chocolate bars on sale, and I bought 4 of them with the intention of having one a night to last me, hopefully, an entire week. I was just going to bring one with me each night for dialysis, actually. An hour later, I had eaten them all of them, because I have no self-control. And coming to the realization that I am the cause of my own illness wasn't as profound, because I already knew. Even though I was told that my obesity had nothing to do with it, how could it not? Really? How could it not? I'm damn lucky that I don't have diabetes on top of all of this, considering my grandmother had diabetes. And I'm 5'5", and I weighed 320 pounds, and it's a size 26. And I was 26. Huge. And it was a shame. I pretended that I wasn't. I pretended that I was happy and healthy, but I was dying inside. I was suicidal. My depression was through the roof. I sabotaged anything good in my life, and I wasn't happy. Not even a little. Not even when I had good things. And I don't ever want to be in that place again. Ever. So, I am really close to transplant. I'm not willing to fuck it up. I am not willing to throw away the next 50 years of my life because of sugar. I'm not willing to be this sick. And you know what? I felt really good, really good the past little while, because I'm taking new supplements and I'm finally taking control of my health. I'm tired of doctors and physicians and nutritionists and dietitians and everybody telling me that they know me better than I know myself, because they don't. I know me better than anyone. I'm extremely self-aware, which is the reason why I know this is my fault. And I'm the only one that can fix it, because nobody forces me to put certain things in my mouth. Nobody forces me to buy certain things. And I can certainly control what I purchase. So I'm really glad, actually, that I live in a small town where I'm not completely overrun by bad choices. Yes, we do have a McDonald's and an A&W and a Pizza Hut and a Subway and a Tim Hortons and all those things. But we do have farmers that sell produce up by the rec center every week. And we do have 2 grocery stores that have good produce sections. And I do have my excellent, awesome supplements. And I do have a love for cooking and creating in the kitchen. So, time for me to be selfish and stop living in the moment of instant gratification and wanting what I want and feeding my id, my ego, and feeding my body. because I'm not done living. I don't want to have a kidney transplant just to keep being sick. I will always have kidney issues. Even when I get a transplant, I will still have kidney disease. And I will still have to work hard to make sure that transplant doesn't fail. And I'm still responsible for the rest of my health. So, time to be accountable. And today is day 0. And today I start my sugar detox. And I know this is going to be hard. But I'm going to have to go cold turkey. So don't you dare offer me candy. And don't you dare offer me chocolate or pop or even fruit juice. Because even though fruit juice is made of fruit, it's had the fiber taken out of it. So your body produces it directly from sugar and fat. If you want fruit juice, make your own. Blend. Blend a piece of fruit and drink that. Or why don't you get a big pitcher of water and infuse it with fruit. But don't add sugar. Sweeten it with stevia. Get a stevia plant. Don't get the stevia that's been produced into drops or refined sugar type substitute or liquid. Get the stevia plant. Get some water. I know you have it in your kitchen. Get a big jug or get one of those fruit infuser pitchers. Put some fruit in there and a stevia leaf. Make your own. Calories are not all equal. And although the industry has been telling us for years, calories in equals calories out, all you have to do is eat well and exercise and you'll lose weight. That's not true. Because their idea of eating well is to buy low fat, low calorie food. But just because it's low fat and low calorie doesn't mean it's good for you. And just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy. It's more than I can explain in a 25-minute video. So if you have an hour and a half, please go watch documentary on YouTube. It's as long as you have an internet connection, which I'm sure if you're watching this video, you do. All you have to do, go to YouTube in the search bar and type in Fed Up 2014. And gift yourself an hour and a half to watch it. Take notes if you have to. It's really eye-opening. And anybody watching this, if you don't think that you've been affected by the media and the food industry, you'll see how far back in this documentary it goes. All the way to 50. Well, that's all I have to say for that. I was going to do a weight loss challenge this month, but instead I'm going to do a lifestyle challenge for myself. Which is my goal is to be healthy. And I can't do it while I still eat things that are poisoning my body. So I'm going to go cold turkey on sugar. And if you're my friend and you're watching this video and I am cranky with you and you don't know why, please understand that I am going through withdrawal. Well, I'm not yet, but I will be very soon going through withdrawal. Because even if it sounds dumb, I'm an addict. No addicts when they quit what they're addicted to goes to withdrawal. So, do me a favor. Please don't offer me anything with sugar in it. Because all you'll be doing is trying to help my addiction, feed my addiction. I'm tired of being sick and tired. I just want my life back. I don't do anything. And I hope if you feel even a little bit how I do about being sick and tired, that you'll take it seriously because I'm not ready to die. I'm not ready to spend my whole life in the hospital. And that's pretty much been what I've done for the past 4.5 years. Live in the hospital. Anyway, I gotta get started. I need to clean my kitchen and go grocery shopping for fresh fruits and vegetables, and need to purge my cupboard of processed foods because every processed food item contains sugar. Everything processed contains sugar. Wrap your brain around that.